Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Programming in Lua, utilizing computer craft. Now, in the previous video, we talked about conditional statements and variables, and you all probably are getting a basic understanding of programming. And the goal of this episode is to learn loops and functions. Now, these can be used for a wide variety of purposes. Loops will loop a code over and over and over, and as many times as you specify, or as many times as you want it to be, provided on it meets a condition, or until it meets a condition that you specify. And functions are just blocks of code that you can just create an entire block of code and section it off from everything else and execute it with one word. Isn't that nice? Now, let's get started. You're probably thinking, though, computers, while they're nice, they seem kind of boring and they don't really manipulate the environment. Well, that's why we're going to be using turtles, which are computer robots that are run on the computer craft OS. Alright, so here's a turtle, an advanced turtle. He has color on the screen and he's yellow. Let me just disable all that. Okay. Turtles are robots that can manipulate the terrain and environments. This is a mining turtle because he has a pickaxe next to him, and he can break blocks and place them and take items out of inventories and put items in inventories and do all manner of things. Now, first thing we're going to do, we're going to make him turn right. This is part of a basic turtle API. This is the Turtle OS. Different system. So he can go right, he can turn left, he can also turn, okay, he can go back, but he needs fuel. So turtles run on fuel, which is pretty much anything you can throw in a furnace. And this includes lava, charcoal, coal, saplings, wood planks, even aluminum, so even other mod items. This is from Thaumcraft, as such. Other items work. And to get a turtle to eat or refuel himself, I always refer to it as eating, but anyways, he needs to refuel. And to refuel, we just type in the refuel command, and it runs the refuel program. But notice that his fuel level is 1,000, and each number is one space that he can move. But you notice that it only ate the bucket. Well, or the lava in the bucket. So let's run this again. And see, it checks for the next slot and takes that fuel. You're saying, wow, that's really cool. Unfortunately, that's horribly inefficient, because, I mean, would I really have to click this 64 times to do that? No. There's a much simpler way. We can type in refuel all, and we'll check all 16 of the turtle's inventory slots and consume all the fuel. And then now we have lots of fuel. So now we can go back, and now we can go forward. Hooray! Now Control C. Okay. We can also type in Lua, and it will enter in the Lua interactive command prompt, or the interactive Lua prompt, which basically means we can just write in raw code and the turtle will interpret things. So to go back, we would have to do turtle dot back. This makes the turtle go backwards. It's set to true. This is a Boolean variable, which a Boolean variable is just true or false. Pretty simple, and is just good for checking conditional statements. But in this particular instance, you can, before we were just using equals or is not equal to, which is the same thing. Which, if you're doing that, you could also use a Boolean variable. It just depends on the situation, which is more efficient. Now, and at the time I was using non-Boolean variables because I was just trying to teach that particular part of the program. Now, like, okay, well that's nice. Well, what if we want to make a program in the turtle? And let's go edit first program. And we get an error. But we're still in the Lua prompt. Now you're thinking, okay, do I have to break the turtle to get him out? No. Don't. Just call exit double parentheses and it will exit the Lua interactive prompt. Now, you can still hold Control R to restart the turtle or terminate anything that's doing. Blah blah blah. Now, it's always good to label your turtles. If you label them, you give them a name and a number, basically, that they will be labeled as. Therefore, when you break them, for instance, if I were to break this turtle right now, he would lose all of the programs that are written on him. Let's just pretend that there are programs written on him at the moment. And he would lose all his fuel. And if you throw like 16 stacks of charcoal into the turtle to feed him and then you break him without labeling him, all that fuel is gone and you're just out of luck. So we want to do label set, let's just go with mine turtle. Mine turtle. Alright. Now he's mine turtle. Because he mines with his pickaxe. Because he's a mining turtle. Mine turtle. Now, okay. Now that he's got that, we can also use the command label get, and we can see that his label is mine turtle. And if we want to know how much fuel he has in him, we can just type in refuel. Now, simple enough. Let's reboot him. Okay. Now, we're going to edit a program. We're going to make one called, let's go with move. Okay. Now, we're going to demonstrate a for loop. Very simple. Alright. For, and then we can designate a variable is equal to, and let's say we want to do 16, so we'll have him start on 1 and then we'll have him go to 16, so he'll move a total of 16 times. You could start it out at 4 comma then 16 and would only go 12 times, but it's kind of counterproductive to do that, and it's just easier to start off with 1. So this is a loop that will execute 16 times, and then it will kick out of this loop and be done. So for I is equal to 6 turtle dot turn right. Alright, this will make the turtle turn right 16 times, and we call the end, we save it, we exit. Now let's call move program. And he's just going to spin around 16 times. Reminds me of something. Let's just get some charcoal real quick. Okay, and if we throw it in here and we refuel this turtle, now let's type in the dance program. This is a program that comes standard with all turtles, and it's kind of like this, and the only reason I'm doing it is because it's funny, and just because it kind of reminded me of this. Like, preparing to get down. This is what you can do with a turtle. Or one of the many things you can do with a turtle. See? Turtle's just gonna dance around. And he'll just do that until he runs out of fuel. More funny, it's just, this is showing a loop program. This is just a series of commands that is just in a loop, and it loops over and over and over until the turtle runs out of fuel. Or until you click on him again. Basically, it says, it will print to the screen preparing to get down, and then it will execute the line of code over and over. Probably using a while loop, which we will get into here in a second. Alright, that's enough of that. Sorry, little guy. Okay. So, now, let's go back to edit move, and instead of turning, you can do turtle dot forward, and let's do turtle dot back. Let's do it twice. After that, we'll do for I is equal to 1, 2, do turtle dot forward end. Now he moves back 2 and he moves forward 2. So you can program a turtle to move forward or backwards, and you can make him turn and navigate. Another example. Okay, let's make a while loop. That was the for loop. Let's try using the while loop. Let's edit while. Okay, so a while loop will always run if the above condition is true. And if you do not set a condition above it, then it's always true. So you can make an infinite loop, basically. So, let's see here. While true, do. This is going to be an infinite loop, and it's going to be a pain to kill this. Turtle dot turn right. Basically, this is just going to make him turn right forever. And then we'll call an end, and we save, we exit, and we run while. And now he's just looping forever right. Oh, and it doesn't use any fuel to turn. It only uses fuel to move forward or back or up and down. Yes, turtles can move up and down. They can fly. They don't care. They're that awesome. Now we have to hold Control T to terminate the program. Oh look, and how convenient of you to stop that way. Okay. Now, let's see here. Another type of loop we can use is the repeat loop. Now, the repeat loop is very similar to the while loop, except it's the opposite. It pretty much does the same thing, but it's the opposite. So, a while loop says, while this is true, do this. A repeat loop says, repeat this until this happens. Yeah. So, a basic example of this would be, let's make one, edit, repeat. Now, let's set a variable, local I is equal to 5. That's not 5, that's R. Local I is equal to 5. Now, we are going to repeat print I. Now we're going to do okay, now let's do this. Okay, I, this should be indented, so I is equal to, we're resetting I is equal to I plus 1. And now we can use the return function, which is basically print, but it just returns a value. Return I. And now we'll end our repeat loop. Let's clean that up. Okay. So what this should do is that it's going to set I equal to 5. No, this is not right. See? It's a repeat loop. It's different. There is no end statement. It's until. Now we'll do until the condition I equals 10. So now we're going to repeat printing I until it is equal to 10. So this should repeat I 5 times. Then let's run the repeat program. 5. Okay, a simple problem. We cannot use return at this time, so just never mind that. Just forget about return. It's basically a print, but when you're trying to return a value, something. Okay, so local I is equal to 5, so we're setting I equal to 5, and we're going to repeat until we're going to start a repeat loop. We're going to run this block of code until this conditional is met. So we're going to print I to the screen, which should be 5, and then we will do I is now equal to I plus 1. So this old I is now 6, and it will repeat and print 6, and it will do okay, I is equal to current I, which is 6 plus 1, which is 7, and we'll keep doing this until I is equal to 10. And then we want to print I. Now once this is done, this is what we'll get. Not that. Oh, one of my favorite things about coding is forgetting parentheses or commas or quotations. It always happens. It will always happen to everybody. It's always going to happen. It's the easiest mistake to make. Now, repeat. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See? Now we're repeating. Let's edit repeat and make the turtle. Let's do something else. Turtle dot back. Now he should go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fast, isn't he? Now let's run the program again. Make him go up. Not that. And there he goes. Now let's do this again and make him go forward. Now he's gone forward. And now let's edit the program one more time. Make him go back down. And now he's back down. Whee! Okay. Now that we understand looping, anything a turtle can do, it will loop. So let's use the turtle.dig function, which is what a mine turtle does. That's how you tell it to use the pickaxe. Okay, so let's get some sand, because sand is affected by gravity. Okay. Now, let's run the repeat program. And see? It'll just do that many times. 5 times. Now if you notice that it's this slot, it's in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th slot out of 16. We can change that. Okay. Let's see here. Let's make a program real quick where this will be a good opportunity to show off a function. Okay. Now, a function is basically a block of code that you designate as a function, and you can call it an entire block of code, an unlimited amount of code, basically, you can call with one word. How nice is that? So instead of writing like turtle.dig, turtle.dig, turtle.forward, turtle.forward, turtle.turn right, turtle.go forward, and you want him to do this like 6 times, you could use a loop, but you can use a loop, of course, but, well, what if you want him to do something else once he finishes that loop, and then execute that loop again? Well, then you would have to retype the entire loop, which is painstaking, annoying, and highly inefficient. Now, let's make a program called sand. Okay. Now, for this program, we're going to make a function. Now, to make a function, in Lua, we type in function, space, and the name of our function, which can be pretty much anything we want. So let's do the first part of this, which will be drop. And we can't use it. Drop. Okay. And we put double parentheses, and there we go. Now, what do we want our function to do? Let's see here. Now, so let's do okay. For I is equal to 1, 5 do this is just a preference of mine to do a space in between each loop or designation. You don't have to do it. Sometimes it's a lot cleaner to do it without a space in between here and here or here and here. But I just like to do this. This is just my own personal style. Okay, let's do turtle dot up. So this means the turtle will go up 5 times. You can see this is getting a little messy, but I just like to do it because when you have a function with 200 lines of code, you're looking for an end to the block of text that is before your eyes. And with this, it's a lot easier. But since it's a shorter program, we'll just do this. We'll just designate it this time. Okay. Now, see. Okay. Function.up. And now we have to call an end to this function. End. Now, the function has ended. That's it. There's no more to this function. This is not... like, if I ran the program right now, it would not execute this function. It would not execute that code, because there is nothing telling it to execute that code. So, in order to execute this code, we would have to do, let's see here, drop. Yes. Let's save. And now, let's type sand. And it goes up 5. Just 5 meters is quite a bit. Go down 5. Thank you. Okay. Now, that he's going up 5. Let's do another function. I like functions because you can just condense things so much and your actual code will be very small. It can also be a little, it's mixed really. It can be really good because you can have all these functions defined and they're all separate and nice and neat apart from each other. And then you can have like a 5-line code, a main code of 5 lines, where you have just 5 functions and they're all called. So, or like 2 functions and you're just calling them alternatingly. In which case you could just set up a loop to do that. You can loop functions. And you can also put a function within another function too. It's very cool to do. It's really cool. Now, yes, you can put a function in a function. So I could be like, okay, this new function will use the drop function. And there we go. So, alright. Function place. Okay. Now, let's see here. Turtle dot for I is equal to 1 comma 5 do turtle dot place. Now that's ended. Now we'll run the drop function, and we will run the place function. Actually, here, let me help. This will make it a little bit... There. I always do that. Makes it a lot easier because it's like, okay, all functions are done. This is our main code. Now, let's run sand. So it'll go up 5, and it'll place 5. Why didn't it do anything? Well, because this turtle's inventory slot is set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the sand is in slot 1. So let's go back down 5, and let's look at the program. Edit sand. So, okay, in our main code, or in our function, if we wanted to, we could do turtle dot select 1, which will tell it to select the slot. And now we'll save it, and let's run the program. So the turtle goes up, and he dropped all the sand. Hooray! I think. Actually, let's edit this to, since it would be easier, turtle dot place down, which will drop the sand below him. Okay. Now let's run the program again. Yay! Now, for the next order of business, and this will write another loop. Or not. Whoops. Come back down here. We have work to do. Okay. Now let's make another function. Can you tell I love functions yet? Function digger. Okay. Now, for the digger function, we're going to do for I is equal to 1 comma 5 do turtle dot dig down turtle dot down. Now we'll designate an end. Now we'll designate an end to this. So this will make the turtle 5 times. He'll dig down, and then he'll go down. And then he'll dig, and then he'll go down 1. Because basically if he tried to go down right now, like if he tried to move downward, he couldn't. And he would return a Boolean variable false if you were looking for it, which is basically saying there's something in the way, I can't move. Get it out of the way first. So let's go to our main code and we'll add in digger. Now, in theory, this program will make the turtle go up 5 blocks, place 5 blocks of sand, and make him mine them and return to where he is sitting now. So let's go up. There's 5 blocks of sand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Derp. Hooray! And the program's done. Now, this is just a mundane program that you really don't see use for at this point, but if you think about it, the power of functions and loops is so ridiculous. I mean, you can, like, do anything pretty much with them. Here, give me a second and I'll load up a program before that I made for cutting down trees. Alright. I've loaded up that program, and if we hit dir, our directory, we can see that we have move, repeat, sand, tree, and while. And tree is, you guessed it, a program for cutting down trees. Now, there are many types of turtles available in ComputerCraft, so let's go to mod computer. Okay, we have pretty much any diamond tool in Minecraft also functions. Yeah. And they all use turtle.dig with the exception of the melee turtle, or melee turtle, whichever you prefer. I'm not really sure which one is the correct term, melee or melee. I grew up saying melee, but everybody yells at me melee. Anyways, this would be turtle.attack. But so yeah, very wide range of turtles, and so we're going to need some. Okay, let's get dirt. Sapling. Growth. There we go. Hello, tree. Okay. Now, let's go forward. I'm going to show you what this program does first. Let's run the tree program. This is an improved version of the first program I ever wrote, which was to cut down a tree. Now, let's look at the tree program. Okay. We have a function called up, which uses a repeat loop, which says repeat turtle.dig up, turtle.up until turtle.detect up, which is, we'll check if there's a block above the turtle. Turtle.detect is in front of it, and turtle.detect down is below it. Until turtle.detect down equals false. Experimentation with code, that's why that's commented out. And we have an end. Now, this is old, so that's why that's there. Now we end that function, now we have a down function, which is a repeat loop, which is turtle.down until turtle.detect down equals true. So basically this is saying, okay, keep going down until there's something below you, which means you've reached the ground. Stop going down. So let's see here. Turtle.dig, you have to put the turtle right in front of a tree. So the turtle's right in front of the tree. He will dig, which means he'll break this block. He'll put it in his inventory. Then he'll move forward. So he'll move it here. And then he'll go up, he'll run the up function, and then he'll run the down function, and then he'll go back to this spot. So basically, what this does is, see, usually when someone's new to making a tree program, the turtle will keep going up into the sky forever and ever and ever, and you'll just be like, well, crap. That's not good. Come back. Whereas this, or you're new to it and you set it like 15 or 20 blocks. So he'll go up 15 or 20 and then come back down. And then you'll be fine. But this is for any size tree, assuming it's a 1x1 tree, of course. So he breaks a block, he keeps breaking, he's breaking. Oh, there's nothing above me, I'll go back down, and wait, there's something below me, now I go backwards. And that's it. Pretty much the possibilities of turtles are endless, and you can do pretty much anything. This is bugging me. Now, with that being said, turtles can do anything as long as they have fuel in them. The only thing they cannot do is use other tools that are not standard tools. There are a few tools that are not regular diamond tools, but that they can use, but it's very limited. Now, currently in the works, Dan200 has released that he is featuring a new equip command, which will equip any tool in its inventory to its side, and you can make a turtle dual wield. You were able to put two things on a turtle before, but never two tools. And he's introducing turtle multitasking, which means, like before, if you want to output a redstone signal out of one side of the turtle, but you also want to do it out of the other side, or the same thing with a computer, you can't do both at the same time. You would have to end one program or conditional to start the other. With the multitasking, the turtle can do both. Now, there's workarounds around that, but that's just an example. So, yeah, like, it's pretty awesome. So, that's really it for this episode. In this episode, we have covered the for loop, we've covered functions, and we've covered basic turtle manipulation. Oh, and just a thought. Before, I've been trying to do Control-C, thinking it would clear the screen, while for some reason I was thinking of the clear command, which clears the screen without hitting Control-R and rebooting the entire computer. Just a little tidbit. And with that, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.